Alright, well, I'm probably going to go ahead and make this a long episode. And, just because I know I had to edit out some of that last run. So, I'm going to go ahead and make this a longer one, and we're going to do another cycle right now. Buckle up, I didn't put on my spacesuit, so let's not forget that before we die. And off to space we go. Let's see. There's the Phantom Moon, huh? Quantum Moon? That's what it's called. Let's check it out. I'm not sure what we'll find here. Let's see. Is there going to be a surface here? Match velocity. Velocity match aborted. It disappeared. We're still in the same place. The moon just disappeared on us. There it is now. Okay. Well, so much for that. And there's one thing I wanted to check on Ember Twin. I opened a door here to the high-powered research station, and it had some answers relating to which tower was which on Ash Twin. I would not mind finding my way back to that door, which I believe is right over here by the power station. And we're gonna go ahead and toss this up and bring ourselves down carefully. Good. Alright, down we go. Keep our velocity nice and low. Cool. And we can... God damn it, I forgot. Oh, give me that teleporter. Thank you, thank you. Put the suit on. Okay. See, that's why I put it on Timberhearth. That's why I try to remember that on Timberhearth. Because I will forget every time after doing some piloting. Let's see, where are we? Yeah, here we are at the research lab. And this is busted. Damn. Okay. It was a pretty... a pretty grueling process, honestly, to get back into that by going through the Sunless City. And it's kind of one I don't want to have to do every time, so I'm not going to. Let's get out of here. I will have to go back to the Sunless City at some point, but today is not that day. Where's the Ash Twin? There she blows. Keep us up here. Target this. And the towers are just getting exposed. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and put ourselves down off the equator a little bit. Which way is the equator? Right, so this is off the equator a little bit because that sand funnel will throw our ship over to Ash Twin, which we don't really want right now. Out we get. Here's the tower. And this symbol, I believe, is the sun, but we're going to spend a little time making sure about that. Here's the door right here. We're going to have plenty of time to explore this planet. We might even be able to catch a couple warps before the sun explodes. Is this her locked door, or is this... Yeah, this door is busted, huh? Let's try the other side. There's also a way up from below. And no door on this side. At least not yet. Let the old massive column of sand pass. Yeah, so there's only a bridge on one side, and it's locked from this level. We will see, but we don't want to get sucked up by this giant column of sand. So we're going to dip around real quick. We're just gonna follow this thing around the planet here. Ah, there is a door on this side. Kind of an interesting way the sand depletes from this planet. Alright. Oh yeah. I remember the looks of this. Full of cacti. Some of it rather inaccessible, I believe. But this will take us up into the teleport room. Alright, let's see where this goes. We're gonna hang out here and wait. There goes the White Hole Station. Not there. There goes Giants Deep. And the Solar Station. Ah, look at that. Now, this is somewhere entirely new as well. Let's get up here. Hello. Thank you. So that's what we were considering down. We're now upside down. 6 minutes, 41 seconds ago, increased solar activity detected. Sun station hull integrity approaching critical levels, closing emergency doors. 281,042 years ago. No user commands received for 10 minutes. All systems entering sleep. You know what? I'm actually going to take a little note of that. I don't think that number is exactly important, but it's interesting to know that that's probably when the Nomai died out. And then not until a couple minutes ago did we start detecting issues with the sun again. Ah, that was another escape pod door. How much do we want to mess around here? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, this is extraordinarily bad. Ouch. Well, that's one way to go. Oh, man. Okay. So, we learned the symbol for the sun and which tower sends us there. We also learned that whatever's going on at the sun station is extremely time sensitive because it said a door lockdown. Door lockdown 6 minutes ago. That may be like right now. I wasn't there for that long. Checking the timer. Yeah, it's been about 8 minutes since I started, so I don't know. I don't know if I'd have time to get there to make a difference, really. Put the dang suit on. Let's get back there. Get me to the twins. The bad way. We're just gonna come in rather warmly. Just don't want to fall into the sun in the meantime. Yeah, that wasn't terrible. Still haven't really revealed any of the towers yet, so it's not like we lost time there. Down we go. I also don't really know what's on the rest of the planet. Like, as we lose sand, there may be more secrets revealed too, lower, you know, down on the surface. But that will be for later explorations, because right now I've got things to figure out. More towers to discover. More answers. Obviously, it seems like things were kind of centered around the Ash Twin project, so that's a really interesting place to start. A lot of the action seems to be happening on one side or the other of these portals. Man, that's a cool looking planet. And the sand starts just pouring in there. I mean, that's a huge canyon. You know, even in the game, it takes multiple jumps, multiple big rocket jumps to get you up out of that. And the whole thing changes. Really, really cool. So we're just gonna hang out on the equator here and see what we can see as things are revealed. Aha, so the towers are starting to be revealed here. I still feel like, I mean, I know that this is the Ash Twin Tower that I'm in now. I just couldn't get it to teleport last time. Maybe I'll just show a little more patience. Because I think the other towers I've been to, right? This one is definitely the sun station that I was on last time. Uh-oh. I really don't want to fall all the way down. Can we get our gravity back? Thank you. Out. Alright, we're fine. But this is definitely the sun here. This is the one we explored last time. We got a broken door on one side. We got an open door on the other with a bunch of plants in there. Yeah. That's for the sun station. So, moving along out the system, we would get to the twins here. So, I am pretty certain, and we're getting some fancy music from the spectroscope there. What's it called? Signal scope, that's the one. 3 minutes of oxygen. We may want to swing past the Timber Hearth Tower, which I believe is the next one, just to get ourselves some air. And we're low on fuel too. Great. Huh. I could have sworn the next tower would be right over the horizon here. Maybe the planet doesn't drain quite evenly. Like it's barely moving now, isn't it? Oh no, it's still going. Still going. But look at how close, like, the top of the bridge is there, and I can't see the top of the bridge over this way. Weird. Doesn't seem to be quite even. So which of these is the broken tower? This one. This should lead us to the Ash Twin project, if my theory is correct. So we will just wait here as the corpse of this Yomai is exposed right next to us. It's interesting that we see these Yomai here and so far nowhere else. Everywhere else we found skeletal remains, and here we find a little bit more than that at the very least. At least a spacesuit, you know. I don't know if there's actually a mummified body in there, but the spacesuit's a lot more than we find on other worlds. So I wonder what they were doing here. Ah, look at that. If you jump in while the thing's going over, while the sandstorm's going over, you can actually make your way in here. How's the gravity? Over 1, so pretty high gravity in here. Let me remind myself. 8 minutes, 10 seconds ago. Received data from previous cycles. And mask receiving data from probe tracking module, Giant's Deep, Timber Hearth. 14 minutes until end of cycle transmission. Okay, this makes a little more sense this time to me. So the Yomai were completely aware of this cycle. The Yomai must have known about the 22-minute cycle, as if the fact that they were looking for a way to break causality by 22 minutes wasn't enough. We see that they are saving data from previous cycles. They're somehow preserving it here, and they're counting down each cycle as it happens. So the Yomai knew very much what was going on here, which means that I would love to ask them some questions. Here we are receiving data from the different statues. I know we read this. Today we finished the excavation of the Ash Twin. Here in this space we carved, we will craft our most ambitious project yet, the Ash Twin project, powerful enough to send information back in time. How far we've come since our experiments at the high energy lab. I still can hardly believe Ramey's hypothesis was true. Coleus, we've also finished reallocating all subterranean plants we met while digging. Ramey, we'll need to keep our eyes on how significantly we've altered the environment here. So they knew what they'd created here. Yarrow, Poke just sent the warp core for the final tower to us from the Black Hole Forge. Now Ash Twin can be connected with Giant's Deep, where Casanova is working with Avens to craft the orbital probe cannon, and where Phlox is sculpting the memory statues. Wow, we're learning a lot here. I'm going to take notes. I set it to pause time when we're reading this, so as long as nothing's moving, I think time is frozen. So Phlox is building memory statues. Gonna note that. Memory statues by Phlox. Pokey is working for sure at the Black Hole Forge. Casanova is on Giant's Deep and is working with Avens. So Avens is on Giant's Deep too. I don't know if any of this is gonna matter, you guys, but I find it interesting. Cassava, hypothesis. It was not by accident the core of our warp tower was the last to be forged. Pokey, hypothesis. The cores could have been forged faster if Cassava had interrupted my work less frequently to ask for updates. Yarrow, the important point is we are all connected through the Ash Twin now, and also that I'm no longer needed for mediating your disagreements. Oh man. So Poke and Cassava were enemies. Interesting. What do I know about Pokey? Poke, have I taken any notes? Just that they work at the Black Hole Forge, which we just found out. And Cassava on Giant's Deep is suggesting there's a reason that they didn't get the Giant's Deep core up until last. Yarrow, our friends on Giant's Deep tested the orbital probe cannon today. Mallow tells me the cannon is doing well and that Avens advocates for more launch power. If anyone can coax the maximum power from a device, Avens can. But then if anyone can goad a device into exploding, that too is likely Avens. Perhaps I should check in with the orbital probe cannon crew in the interest of safety. Yarrow, would it help to remind Avens that Mallow, his love, will be one of the Nomai aboard the cannon, or is Mallow part of the problem? So Mallow and Avens are together. Noting it. So Mallow is aboard the orbital cannon on Giant's Deep. Phlox and Daz finished the memory statues today, and they are truly remarkable. So Daz was working with Phlox. Interesting. Whoops. Yep, there we go. When the Ash Twin project succeeds, or in the event it fails, the memory statues will activate. Okay, here we go. This is bringing us to our story. When the Ash Twin project succeeds, or in the event it fails, the memory statues will activate, allowing us to gather more data before we shut down the project. Pi and Idea have worked hard on the Sun Station, and it at last is complete. If everything goes as planned, the structure will prompt the Sun's explosion, which will in turn supply the power the Ash Twin project requires. Wow. Okay, so the supernova was intentional. So they needed the power of a supernova to power the Ash Twin project. Ramey, I'm impressed by their mental fortitude. This was the project's most difficult task in more ways than one. We're nearly ready to activate the Ash Twin project. Here's what will happen. First, the Sun Station will receive the order to fire at the Sun, prompting it to explode. Using the energy from the resulting supernova, the Ash Twin project will send the order for the orbital probe cannon to fire back in time by 22 minutes. Orbital probe cannon to fire back in time by 22 minutes. Exactly 22 minutes after these orders are received, the Sun Station will again trigger the supernova to send the probe data from this cannon launch back in time. In total, each cycle created by the Ash Twin project will last precisely 22 minutes. We can end this cycle at will. These words are difficult to write. The Sun Station did not work. Suppose we redesign the Sun Station. To generate power of that magnitude, a supernova is still our only viable option. Ramey, I believe we can still find a way to create a supernova, my friend. Don't lose hope. Pi, suppose we redesign the sun station to generate power of that. Idea says, this is easier expressed than accomplished. Pi says, you can wait for the sun to explode on its natural timeline if you prefer, Idea, but you'll need to find some way to halt our aging process. Yarrow says, Yarrow also adds, however, this is the closest we have ever been. The Ash Twin project is theoretically sound. We are only unable to power it. Perhaps there is another way. So the sun station supposedly didn't finish its task. Sun station didn't work. So they weren't able, by what they said, to create a supernova. Yarrow, we are halting our research into creating a supernova for this moment. A comet has newly arrived in this solar system, and we're anxious to explore it. The Interloper. Yarrow, it's been a very long time since we last explored somewhere new, so we're excited to welcome this comet. Imagine what knowledge might be gained there. Fascinating. This is all controls. Yeah, what are we looking at here? Artificial gravity control. Oh. Yep, sure enough. It drops the gravity. Ah, it stops things spinning too. Well, let's turn that back on. Uh-oh. That could be bad. Ah, this isn't the stars. This is more of that rock. Let's see if we can fall back onto this thing. Oof, ow, oof. Alright, fine. Wow. Was time not even passing while we were in there? Wasn't that planet just overhead there, too? Okay, well, crap. There was one more thing I wanted to explore there. So, I'm just gonna wait right here for that to come back overhead. Y'all can hang out. Well, I guess I could talk about something else, too. So, I'm just curious about the Nomai's names. So many of them are plant-based. Burr, Roos, Psycat, Yarrow, Mallow, Idea, Anana. All of these are plant names. More than half of what we found so far are plant names. I just wonder what exactly that's meant to drive home. It's also interesting that planets from creatures from Timberhearth, Hearthians like us, have rock-based names when they come from a planet famous for its trees. The only breathable atmosphere we've found so far. Just makes you wonder, what's the meaning behind that? Both in universe and in real life. Hey, look, there goes the comet now. You know, I'm deciding now that the Interloper is going to be our next stop. I really want to see what's going on there. Because if you remember on Ember Twin, we found a cannon that was able to kind of warp back a shuttle. What is that? Nothing in particular. That was able to warp back a shuttle, and that shuttle was on the Sojourner. I'm sorry, the Interloper. Let's go. Here we go. You just gotta wait for the sand to be passing over, then you can teleport. There's no way to interact with these, right? I can't see the memories again. That would be pretty crazy. Here's another statue. Doesn't seem as interested in us as others. Oh yeah, I remember reading about these too. I think this is the one that I ran last time. Started with and then ran out of time. I've installed the masks inside the Ash Twin project, Phlox. They look beautiful, although I do feel as though I'm being observed. It's comforting to know the statues will not pair until the project succeeds. Otherwise, I imagine the experience would be hard to endure. Flock says ideally they'll only need to activate once the project succeeds as a safety measure. However, the statues will also activate in the event of equipment failure. They will? Why is that? If anything goes wrong with the Ash Twin project, the statues and their masks will make us aware of the situation and enable us to fix it. Otherwise, it would be possible for us to remain permanently unaware of the problem. Raimi, I hadn't thought of that. What a profoundly horrific fate that would be. Well, thanks, Nomai. That's what you trapped us in. Trapped my entire species in that. Let's see what they had to say about Timberhearth. Yarrow, my gratitude for the latest shipment, Ueno. This ore should be the last we'll need for the Ash Twin project. Ueno says, this is exciting news. Can I offer an extra set of eyes for this final check, specifically mine? If my work here is complete, I'd be delighted to help. Yarrow, we'd be grateful if you would. The more eyes, the better, as the smallest flower opening in the shell that protects the core could lead to disaster. Once we finish the shell that seals off the core, we'll check to ensure there are no longer any physical entrances. Yeah. This is the stone that I got a piece of last time I was in here. Got to read that stuff right there. This is the brittle hollow stone. I have good news, Yarrow. The advanced warp core is ready to be installed at the heart of the Ash Twin project. Poke says, no it isn't. Yarrow says, is everything well at the forge? Clary responds, don't worry, love. Poke is only nervous. The core is extraordinary, and her design work is beautifully clever. Poke says, the core's durability could still be improved. I need more time. Clary, ignore her, Yarrow. The core is finished, and if my sister tells you otherwise, then she will be finished as well. Huh, so Poke was responsible for the primary core here, and was worried it wasn't finished. I have good news, Yarrow. Yarrow says, I'm intrigued, love. Everyone on Ash Twin is excited to see it. Pi is beside herself with joy. Huh. A little bit of favoritism, a little bit of cockiness going on that ended up dooming everybody. Yarrow says, I have exciting news, Privet. The Ash Twin project is almost prepared to receive the probe data from the orbital probe cannon. This is one thing that I've been curious about as well. I don't understand what the probe cannon is for, or exactly what they're trying to do with it. It's receiving data from the orbital probe cannon. Yarrow, Raimi is adding some finishing touches here, but she'll be finished soon. Are you and the orbital cannon well? Privet responds, we are. The probe tracking module is ready to record each launch's flight directory, and will automatically transmit all relevant data to you. Privet, on the other appendage, I'm now worried about this cannon's structural integrity and its crew's moral integrity. Oh man, that's harsh coming from Privet. Privet also says, once the probe determines the location of the Eye of the Universe, it'll send an alert directly to you and Raimi. But why were they trying to create a 22-minute time loop? We're finding out the answers to all sorts of questions about what all this technology is for, but we still haven't figured out why they need exactly this amount of energy to create exactly this loop that we're stuck in. Somehow, this time is meant to loop and affect the probe being launched from Giant's Deep, if I'm understanding correctly. Probe tracking module. That might be a symbol to remember too. Definitely could be. So, this thing looks rather official. I wonder if this is the way to power up the core that we were just reading about. That looks like it's turning on the Ash Core project. You stay up there, please. Now this is on. Caution, you are about to access the core while the Ash Twin project is active. Warning, removing the core will disable the Ash Twin project. So, do I want to disable the Ash Twin project? About to remove it while the project is active. Permanently disable. Removing the core will disable the Ash Twin project. Okay. I guess while I'm here, I'm gonna wait for the rotation to stop. And now we're floating. And we'll head over to the core here. A dark core and a light core. Which one is which? Are either of them anything? Well, we got it now. The music just stopped. What did we do? Did we save our system? I didn't really realize that there's another thing here. What could that be for? Let's go turn back on the gravity and hope the universe isn't about to end. That would be all we need. Spin everything back up here. We're good. Okay. I'm gonna put down the Ash Twin Warp Core, probably the most powerful and dangerous thing ever invented. I'm just gonna set it on the floor. And I'm gonna pick up the probe tracking module slate. Will putting these in here give us more information? Will it show us visions? The probe module. What in the world is this place? Where is it? Is that rock around it? Dark bramble vines? The whole ceiling is walkable, and it's full of informational kiosks here. There's an airlock, and a statue with its eyes open. Tablet as well. Four minutes until end of cycle transmission. Giant's Deep and Timber Hearth. Okay. Giant's Deep and Timber Hearth. Let's go grab them. Giant's Deep. Is that the sound of the sun exploding? Kinda sounds like it. Giant's Deep statue is in a room. Boy, this tells us jack shit. And finally, let's check the Timber Hearth one. Theoretically, it should show us the observatory where we were first spotted by this thing. Maybe that's not the sun exploding. Maybe that's the sand passing overhead. Tough to say. Where is this? Oh. The Timber Hearthstone is down in the mines. I explored this place. It was beneath one of the geysers. Interesting. Well, let's hold on to our warp core and see if it makes any difference with our next loop. Oh, jumped in that at just the wrong time. Let's see. Sand should be passed by now, right? Or maybe it won't be active until the sand comes around again. There's the sweet tunes of our imminent demise. I'd love to get out there to see this supernova one more time. If I'm stuck in a hellish time loop of constant destruction and watching my planet be destroyed, may as well at least get to stand up close to a supernova and experience something just about nobody's ever experienced before. I really like these little stings of music that the game plays. The Ash Core Project. Those Yomai created something special here on Ash Twin, huh? I'm still not exactly sure why, but I'm sure that there's more information to come. Like I said, I've decided to try to visit the Interloper on the next cycle, so that will probably be next video. I just have some hints that there may be information there. It's either going to be the Interloper, back to the Hanging City is another potential spot. The White Hole Tower is another spot that I know we have more information. So I guess we're just gonna be stuck here in this strange place while the end overtakes us. So, like I was saying, Interloper next time, Hanging City, White Hole, whatever we can find, that's where we're gonna be next. Thanks everybody. See you next time.